Guys, welcome to the Wild Protea. As you can see, this week is a pre-recorded episode, so enjoy. Also, guys, don't forget to like, obviously, my page. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe on YouTube. Like I said, like the page, share it. Obviously, trying to start something here with a fan channel, trying to get the fans involved, trying to get everyone's opinion, not just mine. That'd be great. So what I thought I'd do this week is just give a little preview of the rugby's action, and then just go into some stories from the past week as well. Hopefully a little bit of a shorter video than the live sort of watch-alongs with the rugby. Those two are like 40 minutes, so this will be a bit shorter, so the data won't be as hectic this week. Hashtag data must fall. So this week, first up is the Lions. They were playing the Griquas, and just having a look at the starting lineups here. Obviously the standouts are Alton Yankees here. Vincent Tachuka's also, he's been amazing. Marvin Ori, obviously a Springbok. Kalusadi's been good. Dan Creel's also been pretty good as well. For me, I think it's going to go to the Lions this week. The Griquas they're a pretty decent side, but I just think the Lions have more firepower. I think more experience as well, and I think that'll stand them in good stead. I think I picked the Lions by 10 on Super Brew, so that's going to be my pick for this week. I just think that the experience of Alton's going to come through. Cornel Skosand also plenty of experience as well. And I just think they have too much firepower for the Griquas. But having said that, we never know what can happen. We saw last week, the Pumas nearly pulled off an upset against the Stormers, but my boys pulled through at the end. You should have seen me here at home on the couch. Would have been absolute scenes here. I wish I'd recorded the second half, because that was actually a much better half of rugby, but such is life. Much better half of rugby for me, should I say. And then just looking ahead to the other games, what do we have here? The Pumas are playing the Sharks. Another chance for the Pumas to take some points off some big boys. The Sharks obviously reeling after their loss to the Bulls. Apologies for not posting that result as well. I was out with my brother. It's actually his wedding tomorrow as well, so I probably won't be watching any of the rugby tomorrow, to be honest. But such is life. It's important. I'm the best man at his wedding, so that's more important than obviously rugby. Having a look at these starting lineups, obviously the Pumas will be missing their number 10. He suffered that injury last week. Looking at the Sharks side, looks a very strong side, but they failed to click after the lockdown, and I'm not quite sure why that is. But Sabu Nkosi is back. Obviously, he was back last week. Madosh Tambwe is back as well. Having a look there, Pepsi Buthelezi, look out for him. Fantastic player. I think the Sharks are going to take this one, but I think it's going to be a close affair. The Pumas right now are playing some good rugby. Look for Devin Williams for them. Look for, obviously, the stand-up performer last week, Wayne van der Bank, as well as probably Jean-Ray Rudolph as well. He's also put his hand up as well. There's a lot of decent players in that Pumas lineup, and they showed last week that they have come to play and that they can play against the big boys. I just wonder, now with a bit of injuries coming in, have they got the depth now to take on the bigger unions? We'll have to wait and see on that one. Just for interest's sake, I am on my page, guys. You guys check out my the Wild Protea on Facebook. Have a look at it, like it, share it, please, guys. Obviously, the lockdown has made us more aware of supporting local people, and there's a fair few of us out there on YouTube and so forth. that need support and need likes and comments and need to generate interest, And so yeah, it'd be much appreciated if you just hit a like and share. That'd be great. And then the big one of the weekend, North versus South derby, Bulls versus the Stormers. Obviously, I picked the Bulls on Super Brute. The Bulls. Obviously, I picked the Stormers on Super Brute to win this one, but I have my reservations. The Stormers have not played well this season. It's been a tough one because, like I said before the break, they were playing really well. And for me, we're one of the favourites to get to the knockout stages of the normal Super Rugby competition. But they've just failed to click as a unit for me. Too many individual errors. Genre Augustus last week throwing the ball away in a 50-50 situation on his own line. I think there's too many guys trying to make something happen, whereas I think maybe they should rather look to play as a unit more. You saw the second half when they played more as a unit, got more ball carriers and stuff like that. That's when they started to come back into the game. They've got the game breakers, you've got the Rick Pretorius's, Damien Willems is there, Warwick Kalant, Edwil van der Merwe, he impressed me a lot. Scarra Ntebeni's back after his COVID scare, should we say. Stephen Kitshoff as well is back after his COVID scare. The disappointing one for the Stormers is the fact that they'll be missing their influential captain, Siya Kolisi, after he sustained an injury last week. Actually, just looking at a number of those cleanouts from last week and over the past few weeks, I don't think the refs are doing enough to enforce the breakdown rules. I also don't think enough that the players are doing enough to help each other out. I think guys flying in from 5-6 meters away, it's always going to be tough to control what you're doing with your body. So I think that the rules possibly need to be looked at. Maybe you can only contest from a sort of 1-2 meter radius. You've got to be like standing start, whatever. It'll make it tougher to compete at the breakdown, but I think rugby's a game that's evolved so much. When I sort of started playing as a youngster, they told you to run sort of into the ruck, like kind of head first, and just bang anyone that's in your way, pretty much. But the rules have changed now. You've got to rip, you've got to roll. You can't roll from the neck area and those sorts of things. So I think they have to look at that rule. I like the fact that JD Schickling is back in the side as well. He provided a lot of go forward last week for the Stormers. The Bulls, obviously, their team speaks for itself. You have a look down the line there, and you've got Trevor Nyakani, Jason Jenkins, a fantastic player, Marco van Staden, Dwayne Vermeulen obviously needs no introduction, Morne Steyn, an absolute stalwart, Kurt Lee Orense as well, looks a fantastic young player, Stedman Gans as well, he also looks a fantastic young player, Cornel Hendricks, guy that's been around a long time. And then you've got the likes of Nazim Khan on the bench, and yeah, it looks Ambrose Papier as well. So it looks a really strong, good matchup. And I think, my head is saying Bulls, but my heart is saying Stormers. I'm going to go with the Stormers on this one, but I'm going to go with the Stormers by 6 points. I hope it doesn't turn into a kicking battle, because then, like I said last week, my gripe with Damien Willems at 10 is the fact that his kicking prowess seems to let him down at the crucial moments. And I don't know what it is with him. I don't know if it's a confidence issue or perhaps it's a technique issue, like I said last week. I don't know. But he needs to sort it out if he wants to be the Springbok number 10. Because also, if he's going into this week doubting himself, then Morne Steyn is going to kick him off the park. I think expect this to be sort of like a test match sort of atmosphere. I think you're going to see the Bulls looking for territory earlier on. And I think the Stormers are going to probably do the same. So it might be a bit of a boring affair. But, usually at Loftus, it's usually quite a high scoring affair. So yeah, I'm going to go for the Stormers by 6. And I'm going to stand by that. Hopefully they can pull it out. Right, let's just have a look here at some other stories from the week. I know today was quite a big day for CSA. they announced that they have an interim board. So let's just have a look here. Yeah, so the interim board has been announced. Chairperson Judge Zach Jacob, and then Ophelia Ramela. He's involved as well. I'm not going to list everyone, but there's a whole list of names. Go check it out on the page, guys. What do we think of this going forward? Obviously, it's on an interim basis, so they're just there for the time being. But how many of them are going to stay on, we don't know. Look, I think with CSA, like I've said in the past, I think we've got to be patient. I think we've got to, what we as fans for a long time have been calling for is we want the board out. Now the board is out. So we can't judge these people before we see what happens and what they do and how they implement change. Hopefully, they can get things going in the right direction. They've got some cricket to be played over the summer, bumper summer for us here in South Africa. I'm looking forward probably to the test matches more than the one-day stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing Sri Lanka and Australia more. But yeah, it's going to be good to see some cricket now in November as well. But yeah, let's give them time. Let's judge them on what they do. I think Victor Mputsang was a fantastic. I wanted to say signing, but it's not a signing. Appointment. Sorry, it was a fantastic appointment, and I think that's a step in the right direction. I think there's not many people that will know our system as well as Victor Mputsang. He was under-19 coach for a long time. He's been involved in the system. And like I say, on air, he's not afraid to speak his views. So I think, when there's a tough selection to be made, he's going to say, listen, this O needs to be involved, or that guy needs to be involved, or that woman for that matter. But yeah, I think it's going to be he's going to be a fantastic addition. And let's wait and see what this interim board has in them, and how many of them will stay on. You guys can feel free to comment on my posts. Who do you think needs to be involved in CSA? I obviously don't know anything about the behind the scenes. I know a few of the coaches and stuff like that. I know someone who is involved on the behind the scenes with the under-19s and wasn't the under-19s, but also at the Lions, Sia Sabaya. So guys, feel free to comment. I know sort of what the people on the inside want to see, but what do we want to see? Who do we want to see in charge? And going forward, are we going to give them time? Do they need time? I think we've got to be patient with this, with the CSA situation. I think they've made a good step in the right direction, but we'll have to wait and see what plans they have and if they can implement them. Okay, just moving down the list here now. Quinny de Kock announced as ODI Player of the Year. Now, in a shortened season, it's probably no surprise that they've gone with Quinny. He was the outstanding performer from sort of last season. But yeah, congrats to our captain, a fantastic player, and I think there's much more to come from Quinny. You can't get much better than him at the top of the order. He can go to rate of knots. He's shown the wherewithal that, when he took over the captaincy, I think he scored a 1 of 100 here at Newlands, where he took his time in the beginning, batted right through the innings, made sure he got across the line. And I think the captaincy is only going to help him mature in that role. Just looking here, that's the fixtures for this weekend. Cheslin Colby's birthday. Happy birthday to him. That was the other day. What else? Yeah, guys, so if you don't know, it was Simtandile Chabalala's birthday the other day. Sim Tiger, for those of you who don't know him. So remember this name, guys, Simtandile Chabalala. He's going to be he is a fantastic young golfer. He's already winning junior tournaments, and I think that he's one to watch out for the future. Instilling that winning mindset is obviously something that they're looking at with him, whoever's coaching him and stuff like that. So yeah, look out for him, young champ, and let's support him all the way, guys, and make sure that he makes it. And then a year ago, England beat New Zealand, and they thought their job was done. It wasn't. because then you must face us in the final, and then you lose again. Sorry to any English fans. No, I'm not sorry. CSA. Yeah, Chasing the Sun. Yeah, that was last week. What happened in last week's episode? Oh yes, the winning kick. Yeah, so that was quite an interesting one. And just having a look at that episode, I have a lot of respect for Willie Leroux. He played through an injury during that Wales game where most of the guys would have come off the field, and Willie Leroux copped a lot of criticism for his performances in the World Cup, and we didn't know obviously that he was playing through an injury. In hindsight, Willie, you probably shouldn't have played through it. And probably let France come on, but you never know. Maybe France comes on and he makes a bigger mistake. So you never know in those situations. But looking back on it now, it shows the character of the man to put himself out there like that and never quit, never say die. I think that was a huge part of why we won the World Cup. You look how well he played in the final. You also look at, certain players can do things in pivotal moments, and they said it on the episode as well. Willie Leroux coming around the blind side because I think Pollard was in the ruck, and that's what created the try for Damien Delendi, and obviously one of the moments that won us the World Cup. Obviously, Handré Pollard lives for those kickable penalties. In the last minute, like I said, you've practiced it so many times. I mean, I did when I was in high school and beyond playing rugby. You practice it so many times. 79th minute, this is for the World Cup. Bang, you hit the penalty straight through the pole. South Africa win the World Cup, blah, blah, blah. We've all practiced that moment, but he's actually got to do it and deliver in the moment. And I thought that was excellent. One of my favorite moments from the World Cup. I remember doing a podcast about that actually, and saying, that it's going to be a kicking battle, and we got to support the boys and help them, and not moan about it being like that, because you play the team in front of you. You don't play for next week like England do. You play the team that's in front of you, and then you play according to that game plan. And in that, I remember saying in that podcast that it's going to be whoever has the most patience on the day who's going to win the battle. Defensively, both teams are massive defensively, so it was always going to be a defensive battle, and whoever can hold their line the longest would win the game. Francois Lowe, what an absolute monster of a steal that was. One of the guys, I think it was Willie, or one of the forwards boys, that said, he's got massive balls for taking that risk, because obviously when you go and try and steal a ball in the ruck, things can go wrong. You can get a penalty against you, and looking at the position of where the ball was, would have been quite an easy kick for the Wales number 10. I think it's bigger. It was a ballsy move, but he pulled it off, got the penalty. We moved down the field. We all knew what was coming next. Rolling ball, penalty. Looking at the kick, it wasn't even that easy a kick. Handré was just kicking so well that I just never thought he was going to miss. I think I was watching that game down at the my local club here at Fishhoek, and everyone was going absolutely crazy. Boys were moaning a bit about the style of rugby we were playing, but I told them it's going to win the game, and in the end, it did. Obviously, as I say, the rest is history. We went on to thrash England in the final, and World Cup champs get in. I think that's pretty much all there is. Just have a look here again. Obviously there's a Tri-Nations this week, but I don't really want to talk about that. I mean, how can you have a Tri-Nations without South Africa? It's not even worth mentioning, especially when we're the World Cup champs. That's pretty much everything, guys. So if you haven't seen it yet, go check out the page. This will be up there on the page. It'll be a link from YouTube, so you can go check out this video. Obviously check out the page, like, subscribe, share it with your mates, please. I want to try and get this going. I want to try and get a conversation going, and the only way I can do that is with your help. Until next week, have a fantastic weekend, guys. I'll see you guys soon. I'll try and keep abreast of the best I can with the rugby, but it's going to be difficult tomorrow. Like I said, I am at my brother's wedding, so yeah, I will try as best I can, but I'm not going to make any promises. Otherwise, I'll have a look at the highlights and maybe post something on Monday, maybe even a little video on Monday, having a look look back at the rugby. We'll see how that goes. Cheers for now, guys. Have a lekker weekend, and I'll see you next week.